All right, it's that time again, Pony Wars.
We're going to modify 3 2019 pony cars, then pit them against each other at the autocross, the drag strip, and breaking in dyno, and see which one comes out on top.
Now, last time we did this, we pitted a 2017 Camaro SS against a Mustang GT from the same year. Both cars had an excess of 800 horsepower at the wheels, and in the end, the Camaro SS was the victor.
This year, the teams get one chance to compete. After 10K of mods and a ProCharger of their choice, and this year, we're adding a third contestant.
So with our help from Arrington Performance, Vengeance Racing, and of course our friends from FordNXT, we're gonna see who is the champion of this year's 2019 Pony Wars. Are you ready? Is it gonna be a repeat? Let's see.
Basically, here's the deal.
This is going to be a competition, and we are coming to win.
We're delirious. Dude, this smells like grape jelly.
I'm going to be leading you through the build of the 2019 Camaro SS. This thing makes 455 horsepower out of the box out of its 6.2-liter V8. It's got an automatic 10-speed in it, direct injection, variable valve timing, and displacement on demand.
I'm Chad Reynolds, and this is the FordNXT Mustang. This thing has got 460 horsepower thanks to its Ford 5-liter, a new 10-speed automatic transmission. We're gonna put a ton of cool new parts on it. We are gonna make them make even more power than ever before on the autocross, the drag strip, all of it. The Mopar guys and the Chevrolet guys are gonna be crying at the end of this competition.
I am in Michigan at Arrington Performance. You can see Mike Copeland, the builder and the owner of a beautiful Challenger right behind me. It's a brand new 2019 Challenger RT Scat Pack. It's got some really cool options from the factory. So it has the bigger dynamic package with the Brembo brakes, 2-piece rotors, bigger calipers. It's 392 cubic inch, 6.4 liter Hemi under the hood. Yeah, that's right, a Hemi. Check this out. So that hood scoop isn't just a sticker. It's just a really sweet ride, man.
So every team gets a $10,000 build budget. And we're using all of Summit Racing Equipment's online pricing, and we're doing that for a couple of reasons. Number one, the prices from Summit are always good. That's why everybody buys from them. But number two is the fact that you can then follow along on those prices because none of it is gonna be BS. There is not gonna be any of those magic $500 parts that would normally cost you $5 grand. And number three, they ship them to your door fast, and because of that, you're gonna get the parts you need when you need them. Steeda is gonna give us a bunch of parts for a lot of stuff on this car, all the suspension to hook up all of that P1X power from that ProCharger. But one thing I gotta make sure you know, you gotta understand this, is that folks, this is not a build chronicle that's gonna tell you guys how to build this car for the street. This is a build chronicle to do a race vehicle. This car is not going to be smog legal in any state. So if you're looking for a play-by-play, this is not the one for you.
All right, after the builds are done, we're gonna head to Vegas. And what goes on in Vegas, for once, is gonna get shared. We're gonna put them on the autocross. We're gonna put them through testing on 60 to 0 on braking. Then we're gonna take them to the drag strip. Finally, we're gonna strap them to the dyno and find out which one does really make the most power. All right, Chad, we've spent some time talking about the cars and what we think's gonna win, but let's not forget to talk about the teams. Now, my boys, Vengeance Racing, out of Georgia, Ron Moen. You wanna go 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s? You wanna go 225 miles an hour? You know they got you covered.
Impressive, but don't forget that my FordNXT crew out here has been building really fast drag cars for a while.
Well, what's Petty got to say?
Hey, my boys at Arrington, they know exactly how to put a performance engine together, and Mike Copeland is heading up the entire thing. We're going to find out more about his team and the Challenger build in the next episode.
Well, it's true. 3 great teams, 3 great cars.
We'll see who's going to win this thing.
And when did 225 not become fast? Now, before the builds, what we're gonna do is have all the cars baseline modded and dyno tested for power.
After that, we are going to give each person a $10,000 build budget based on Summit Racing equipment pricing, along with the ProCharger kit of their choice for their application. Now, all of them are gonna run on VP race fuels. All of them are gonna be running Toyo tires. They'll have their choice of 2 ultra high performance tires on the autocross and braking, and then everybody will be running the TQ out on the drag strip.
Now, there's gonna be no supplemental fueling, and the guys can't run nitrous, and they can't do any machine work on the motor, but they can do drop-in, say, rod pistons. And by the way, they can lighten the cars, but not by much. They can throw the jack and the spare tire in the garbage. Also, all 3 cars have to run a full exhaust.
Now, all the parts have to be off the shelf. There can be no one-off custom parts used in this build, and if they break it, they buy it. If the team breaks any part, they have to repair it and replace it under their own budget, under their own money. But if they can't make the repairs in time to make it to the competition, then they're getting 0 points.
The points will be awarded in 4 basic categories: drag racing, autocross, 60-0 braking, and of course, the dyno numbers. And these are the tires that the teams will be able to choose from. They have the RRs. Now, this is a competition tire. It does have an increased sidewall strength, so you can get around corners on those high loads, and of course, better stability at speed. Then, of course, you have the R888Rs, an overall tire that we will be using on the Camaro for the road race section. All right, well, I'm on the website for toyotires.com checking out our new R888Rs. It's an all-new design which still has all the attributes of the original, but now even better. Has a 100 wear rating, so it's going to come up to temperature real quick, but not wear out super quick. And on top of it, it's what Ron already uses on his cars, and it's why we're going to kick some ass.
For the Mustang, we've chosen the 315/3517 Toyo TQ for the drag strip, and it looks bitchin' on weld beadlocks.
All right, let's go over some of the baseline mods that we're going to be doing on both of our cars.
Our first step for the Mustang was a K&N cold air intake kit. This is a great first mod to improve that all-important airflow. It's also one of the easiest, and there's really not a lot here to mess up. The first step is to remove the stock air filter, and then it's simply a matter of placing the edge trim on the powder-coated aluminum airbox and bolting up the polyurethane tubing to the throttle body so that we can put the new box and filter in their rightful place. Of course, that filter is K&N's iconic washable and reusable piece that's a trademark of so many modified cars. Also, we replaced our Mustang stock exhaust with Corsa everything. We're talking 1 7/8 headers, 304 stainless steel long tubes with a 4-to-1 3-inch collector with a scavenger spike and connection pipes. These mate to a true dual 3-inch exhaust made out of stainless with 4-inch tips. As is typical with Coyote Mustangs, the header install required unbolting the steering shaft, the starter, and the motor mounts to create room, but once that was done, the headers went right in and bolted right up. Our last baseline addition was the DIABLOSPORT TRINITY T2EX. It's a 5-inch touchscreen unit that will give us the ability to data log, use it as a gauge pod, and most importantly, tune these cars for the tweaks required for the headers and the intake. It even works with cars with VVT, DOD, or AFM. Since these are off-road exhaust systems, the cars required a custom tune. Otherwise, we could have used any number of out-of-the-box tunes already loaded into the T2.
Now, for the 2019 SS Camaro, I'm going to start with a K&N cold air intake with that tried and true washable and reusable air filter that I think both of us even have on our own personal car.
Of course.
From there, we're going to be using Corsa stainless headers. Now, the flanges are laser cut. They're 1 7/8 primary with a 3-inch collector, and that'll dump into a Corsa full stainless exhaust with 2 3/4-inch pipe and beautiful black tips. On top of that, we're going to be using Lucas Racing Oil with high zinc content. And I think you got something to show me here.
Yeah, this is going to give you a refresher on how that Camaro sounded before.
With or without the ratchet gun.
Yeah, that was it. That was what it sounded like. Now this is what it sounds like after the Corsa exhaust.
That's got a little throat to it.
That sounds much, much better. Now, but wait. Here's before on the Mustang. And after on the Mustang, which sounds way better than the Camaro. Wait, listen. Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
It does sound good, but it still has too many cams.
Yeah, whatever, just go away. Now that we've made all of these upgrades, our baseline modification, so to speak, we got to figure a way to do the tune on this thing. So we've got Matt Barker from DIABLOSPORT and the TRINITY T2, which is the tool that's going to allow us to do that.
For an entry-level user who's, getting this off the showroom floor, they would do that simple process. Turn the key on, pick your power level, you're good to go. We've got the TRINITY here loaded with base files that work for this car right off the showroom floor. But in this case, with these mods, you would work with your custom tuner to get them the files they need about what you've changed, so they can take those files and make a custom tune to start with.
And if somebody's at home and they don't know how to tune, I mean, you guys have your whole database of dealers, so you can help me find somebody that's in my area to do this for my car.
Exactly. So, you do have the option if you go to a guy who has a dyno in his shop, he can do the tune for you there. But with the data logging features and the ability to export those logs, someone can be tuning from their shop 10,000 miles away from you. And now we can get this first dyno run in and see what kind of power we made.
You guys screwed this up. You screwed it up. It's supposed to say winning Mustang right there. Yeah, winning Mustang. Yeah, change that. That's not bad. So what are some of the things that the remote tuner is doing to this to get the tune where it needs to be?
Well, most of the base tunes will be pretty good for this setup, but because of the long tubes, we did some variable cam changes and some sensor delays, really to kind of optimize it for this setup. You've got the increased airflow, so those changes really are what make the custom tune work better for this setup.
Later, we're going to put a ProCharger on this thing and shove a lot more air into it. In those circumstances, then we're going to be adding more fuel, changing timing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot that go into that, and then of course we have all of the changes we have to make in the trans to make sure, not just on the dyno necessarily, but for any road course or any driving whatsoever, you're going to need to make a lot of changes there.
The reason these transmissions live so long now in these cars is because they're pulling so much timing at the shift so that there's no power. I mean, literally they're killing 100 or 200 horsepower for that nanosecond of the shift in order to get rid of the torque, which is what would hurt things, and then send it on.
And there's a lot of shifts with the 10-speed, so yeah, there's a lot going on. It's definitely more complex than the previous generation of Mustangs, but it's something that we're comfortable with, and our custom tuners know all about.
Oh, yes! 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 442, bitches! Winning! Winning more! Winning by 15 more! 442, you rev this little bastard out to 7,500 and look at that. Dude, it's $7 grand, look at the big jump.
How much
This is
more
what winning
horsepower?
feels like.
It's not.
Isn't it awesome, Dean? It's so good. Winning is awesome. Both cars have cold air kits, exhaust systems, and long tube headers. So you think with the exact same mods, the Camaro makes more power than this thing?
Yes.
Do we care power per cube? Because it's a 6.2 liter, right?
I
And
get
this
that.
thing's 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's okay. I don't care.
Do
You
we need to
it.
go? Do
You
we
need
go
it.
get the?
So it's fine.
Let's go. I know
Yeah.
we don't really need
When
it.
it's all
just,
done and we bolt the ProCharger to it too, we're gonna beat you like
You
a
understand,
rented mule.
Needed is
because-
also why the Camaro has the cubic inches, because they need performance. That's why they made it bigger.
Orange Crush is going to put just that.
Oh, Orange Crush, I like it. What is this going to be called then? I don't know. I'm going to have to think. I'm going to have to.
It's the secretary's car.
This is Horsepower Wars. And right now, we are leading in the horsepower hunt.
So you got to remember, this is going to be not a baseline tune for points. Last year we had the points for the baseline. Now we're going to do it with the slight mods, the cold air, the long tubes, and the cat back. So it will be interesting because I really see this as what the consumers are going to see. It's a day two car. I bought my new Camaro, my new Mustang, or the new Challenger, and I put a cold air on it. Long tubes, a little bit more commitment, but I think if you've already bought the $50,000, $60,000 performance car, why not go that far?
Oh, I'm with you, and I think that these things are going to make significantly more power than they would otherwise. With the long tube headers especially, that's a big deal. The engines are air pumps. You get more in, you get more out. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see because, this sets the stage. Like this is, even if this isn't points, dude, we're in a competition. And I don't care if we're on tricycles. I'm winning. I have drag raced, I've autocrossed, I've road raced, I've done I've raced all kinds of stuff. If whoever it is that's driving our car during the competition doesn't do it good enough, I will kick their ass right out of the seat, and it's on.
Hey, you've done a lot of things, but have you wrecked a semi? Have you put a semi on its roof at 100 miles an hour?
No, and I think that's good.
That might not get me in the driver's seat.
No,
I'm just saying. I think even though it does weigh more. I'll give you that. But I think the broad torque of the LS and the Camaro, that's the reason why it's going to win. I got a secret weapon.
Well, I know, but it's okay. I'm confident. Let's get back to the best point on Dennis's resume being I flipped a big rig over. Winner.
That was winning. I say it's going to make more power in that Mustang first pull.
More horsepower or more torque?
Both. Well, hit the 442 first, just so you know.
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and unplug a plug wire.
Yeah, that might be fair. I like that idea. Just undo a plug wire and then I'll be,
Not gonna do it that way.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I will. Oh, dude! I was literally about to go. I will reach over this back seat and smack you in the mouth.
It made 392
so
horsepower
it'll
and
probably
447.
not make any more torque than that, or not much more torque than that, but it should make a lot more horsepower.
Well, it's only going to 47. So basically the skinny is, they're just having a little problem with the speed limiter on the car, not letting it go all the way up into 7th gear.
What he means is that's the fear in it. It's a scared to go.
There's a couple different tables that have different speed limiters in it. What we have to do is get the high-end speed limiter out of it, make sure that table's right, then we can put a hit on this thing and, it's gonna do what it always does, is make more power in the Mustang. Ron, why don't we go ahead and show Mr. Mustang what a power car is supposed to make.
Okay, that was a full pull. 432, 447. Beat the torque by 50 over the Mustang, but we've got you by 10 on power.
What were your horsepower again?
442. You're at 432.
And look at the torque curve. It's probably,
dude, it's
making more torque from top to bottom.
Let's just go 5,000 RPM and look at the 388 foot-pounds on the Mustang and the 437 on the Camaro.
I wonder if that's probably the operating range in, say, autocross or...
That's what I was thinking.
Not even close. These things have such a low first gear. You can run one of these cars at 20 miles an hour at 7,500. So
what it will be, though, is the two car links out in front of that Mustang before it gets into peak power.
Yeah, see, we know. We know what the Mustang will make.
Yep.
We know what the Camaro makes. The question is, what is Petty going to make in Detroit?
Those Arrington boys know what they're doing. There's no doubt about it. And Copeland is serious.
All right, let's call Petty and tell him the numbers. Hold on.
Yes.
Dennis, what's going on, man?
Well, you know what? We got the numbers on the two cars. 432 and 447 for the Camaro. 442, 398 for the Mustang.
So take that. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Those are some cute little numbers, guys. I have to admit, they're very cute. And for second and third place, I think you guys will have a nice battle there.
You don't have a chance.
Listen, we both already have admitted that Copeland and Arrington Performance is going to put some numbers on the ground, but the reality is power to weight is still the ultimate equation when it comes to performance. I mean, what is that car even going to do on a road course, let alone autocross?
I mean, we're going after...
Yeah, that was about the end of that. I'm looking forward to the guys getting in and tearing up all three cars and making power, getting to the track, and we'll see who is going to be the champion and if it's going to be a repeat.
Right now, we're winning. Still winning. You have to remember that whatever advantage this car thinks it has or that car thinks it has, it all comes down to racing. Brian, I made 442, 398.
I'm aware.
P1X, 900 horsepower potential, going on to that 5-liter Ford because they like boost. 65,000 RPM redline, 1275 CFM, 9-inch volute.
Yep.
Oh yeah, race bypass valve and not a stage 1, but a stage 2 intercooler. Yeah, we're going to hand you your ass, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just not so sure about that.
You know,
it's gonna be the other way around.
Oh no, maybe I need to ship myself in this ProCharger box to you to help you guys out because you're not going to be able to compete.
You don't need to do that. I'm good.
It's so comfy in here, though. I think it's time for a nap.
They do make those ProChargers big enough to fit a body.